Don't ask anybody else to do anything for you. You do it yourself. That's my help to you. Now go.
Biggs and Bogs.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to your future ham with Biggs and Bogs. I'm Marty Boggs.
And I'm Julian Biggs.
And we got Spencer on sound and screens.
Spencer.
Thanks for joining us today, folks. Make sure you smash that like button, and let's get right into it. What are we up to today, and how can we plan for tomorrow? Julian?
Thanks, Marty. Yeah, welcome back. We're here today on a Saturday. Things just been working out. Happy Easter to y'all if you are doing that sort of thing. So we're going to talk about scams today. A lot of people been getting hit up with some Instagram scams, and they look pretty legit. They got these people's faces and their voices, and obviously some AI running. So we're going to talk about that and how Web3 can kind of protect some of that stuff. But we're going to get into it with a bit of market scope here first.
Market scope.
So of course, right now we are looking at the Bitcoin versus US dollar chart on the daily time frame, and we're still holding this line. So we did make the dump underneath the 200 there, unfortunate to see, but we did make contact with this line that we've been respecting since January 22nd when we found our bottom there with multiple touches. So things are still trying to hold up here, but not a lot going on in price action. Actually, at the time of filming this video, $40,583. So we are up since this morning. After the little drop this morning, we are up. So this is kind of positive, but I don't think much is going to come from the weekend. And the S&P 500 did kind of close bearish, and it is just floating around. Let's actually just pull up the S&P and have a look at what's going on.
People are busy.
S&P, we don't want that. So here is the S&P 500. So this is a stock market, and we know that Bitcoin has been following this pretty closely, and so the close of the S&P before the weekend was $4,392, and we have been following that price pretty close. So I don't expect much more than 44K, and kind of whatever happens with this Monday morning is where we're going to be. So that 39,800 mark seems likely for me by the end of the weekend, but hopefully we get to 41K if this thing bounces back up when they open up this week. So anyway,
is it a Tuesday? They open on Tuesday this week?
Yeah,
I don't expect much just in general. Like, there's a lot of stuff going on right now.
Yeah,
the markets are out of people's attention kind of right now.
Yeah,
people are worrying about other stuff, so that's why we're just waiting for those dips. Watch it, dollar cost average.
Yeah,
don't trip by the dip.
Don't trip by the dip. And this is what we've been doing. So we've still been kind of respecting this big trend that we got going on here over the last couple of months, and we're still holding above this line. So as long as we are, I'm still feeling pretty safe. But
we need to see an inflow of volume huge here before any real bullish trend starts happening, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Like, if you look at it over the last 2 years, the volume is tapering off just in general, and that's what happens.
Yes.
Because the price action isn't as crazy as it was, and you're going to have more volume when there's more price action. So we're going to be...
We also need to just remember too that the volume is the trading volume on exchange, right? But there's still been 19 million of the 21 million Bitcoin printed, and the long-term holders are now holding more and more and more Bitcoin, and this is being held in cold storage off exchange. So even though the volume is low, the long-term holders are still acquiring their Bitcoin.
The trading volume is low.
They're still removing this Bitcoin from exchange and into cold storage, and they're still scooping up what's left of the 2 million Bitcoin, right? So, and this is why we're still holding these high prices with the low volume, in my opinion. So, I don't know. It's hard for me to ever feel bearish because I just got that.
Well, we know eventually one day everybody's going to flip long. It's just going to happen one day.
Yeah.
We're obviously potentially decades away from that, but maybe less, maybe 10 years. But anyways, Instagram scams.
Scams.
Did you get scammed? Let us know in the comments below. We'll help you out.
Have you seen a scam?
So, yeah.
Are your friends trying to scam you?
So basically what I want to tell you is I've seen a few of them lately, and when you see the one where it's like, I put $500 in and I got 10K in like an hour. That's not how Bitcoin works.
No.
Okay, not how it works. One of the major things about Bitcoin and crypto and blockchain technology is that you do it yourself. You don't need somebody, check out this guy, they helped me do this. It's like, no, you don't need anybody to help you out. So red flag number one, if you're trying to not get scammed in crypto, is don't let Like, don't listen to anybody that says they'll do something for you. You don't need anybody to do something for you. You look it up yourself. You do the research yourself. You make your own accounts. You do everything for yourself. In crypto, you don't need even, like with fiat, you don't need to go to the bank and get them to do it for you. That's what this is all about.
That's exactly what it's all about. Decentralized, right? And decentralized means that we do need to manage our own. We need to manage our funds. We need to manage our risk.
Yes.
In what we're putting in, because this thing is volatile. And it's just
we need to educate.
We need to manage and educate ourselves in every aspect of this game. And you don't need anybody. So no one's ever going to be. Anyone's really trying to help you. They're not ever going to be trying to hit you up and say, "Hey, look, I turned 500 into 10K."
No. Yeah, that's an instant red flag. So if someone's trying to help you, they're going to tell you to help you. Is what I'm saying right now. Do it yourself.
Do it yourself.
Don't worry about. Don't ask anybody else to do anything for you. You do it yourself. That's my help to you. Now go. But seriously though, also. We want to talk about the reason why people are going to such extent to do this. Like you were saying, AI. We see the actual person and them talking, their voice, them like, hey, like it's not just a type. It's not just a picture of a Bitcoin and some text. They're legit videos.
They're generating videos.
So obviously they're going to an extent, and we think to ourselves, why are they going to such an extent to try and scam people over Bitcoin? Well, so I guess it's just a scam in general, right? They'll take any currency, I think, probably.
Oh yeah,
but they use Bitcoin because, well, it's getting a lot of attention. Everybody wants it. Anybody that knows anything about Bitcoin, they're like, what do you want in life? They're like, Bitcoin. I want more Bitcoin. What do you want?
If you understand Bitcoin, you own it and you hold it and you're buying more of it.
Exactly.
If you don't understand it.
Yeah, because Bitcoin is everything. Like the more Bitcoin you own, the more everything you'll get eventually, right? Like it's the value, right?
It's the example we were trying to make last time. Because eventually, there's going to be a point where you don't need to sell your Bitcoin to acquire the things that you need.
Yeah.
Because I don't know, and it's like people have a really hard time believing this or seeing this. The fact that the paper dollar that we know today, everyone's like, especially after this stuff with the government saying, "Oh, we're going to freeze accounts and all this," and everyone's like, "Well, cash is king. Cash is king." It's like they want you to believe that cash is king. They want you to hold this ideal that fiat currency is your end all be all, when it's not, because Bitcoin poses such a threat that it's dismantling this thing, even though you can't see it. It already is. And we're seeing the big money. We're seeing the big corporations. We're seeing all these people put balance sheets into crypto. We're seeing banks start to give loans. I think Michael Saylor just borrowed $200 million with Bitcoin as collateral just to buy more Bitcoin. So it's like, do you not think that other banks are going to get into this? That's right. Every single fiat currency that's ever existed has failed. There's not a single one in our history,
because that's what it's designed to do.
That has ever
it's designed to
survive. Right?
It's designed to spark an economy. To create economy, right? You spend your money. Your incentive to spend your money is that it's losing value, so spend it.
And in the last 80, 90 years, the U.S. dollar's lost 98% of its purchasing power. Like something, it's stupid. In the last CPI index or whatever that came out, I think in America last week, I think it was just last week for March. Their inflation rate was 8.5%. And that's just what's being shown in the CPI. So the real number is actually greater than that. So 22, and the reason being is because of the amount of money printed during this pandemic. Globally, $22 trillion, I'm struggling with the words, $22 trillion.
$22 trillion?
$22 trillion of fiat currencies have been printed since the start of the pandemic.
Just
right?
Over.
And this is why the stock market had such a big boom. This is why Bitcoin had such a big boom, and this is why Bitcoin hasn't dropped below $30,000 again, in my opinion. So we've never had a crisis like we've seen either. So we don't know that what's going to happen, and if there is some sort of mastermind plan to have some sort of global reset of economy, then we will see some sort of crash and a recession.
But we know either way, there's only going to be 21 million Bitcoin.
Yeah,
we know that.
Well, and that's just it. So if the U.S. dollar, like I said, if the U.S. dollar is crumbling, if we go into a recession, if the markets crash and all this stuff crashes, Bitcoin's likely going to crash too. But it's going to be the thing that comes out on top. Yeah. So anybody with money and anybody with all this capital, they're going to, if they pull it from stocks, they pull it from markets, they're going to now have cash. Okay, so
which makes me think there's not going to be a crash, because why would there be a crash? People would Doesn't make sense to me.
Especially with the fiat dollar reaching the point that it's reached now, which is almost.
That's why I think,
right?
honestly, like,
So,
it's essentially the crash already happened, and now it's the last little. Well, I mean, there's going to be a crash, maybe economically, but it's the money has to go somewhere. Right?
Yeah, that's just it. The money's got to go somewhere, and people are seeing now the innovation of blockchain, the innovation of Bitcoin,
exactly,
and what it's doing.
All the apps
and
that are
decentralized
on it.
finance in itself being such the boom that it is, but it's hard to manage and it's hard to keep up with. But people, if they gravitate just towards Bitcoin and create, this business, whether it's lending fiat with Bitcoin collateral, or banks giving loans and getting their payment and interest, or whatever the case may be, there's a whole world.
So we're talking about scams, right? And the reason why that they're scamming this is you have been born to have somebody else do something for you your entire life. Everybody, at least in the West, that's like, yeah, you go to this guy to do this, you go to this guy to do this, and this guy does this. This guy fixes your car, this guy sells your house, this guy
I got a guy for everything.
Yeah, you got a guy for everything. Right? So that's how you think it is. So when it comes to blockchain, when it comes to decentralized, you don't need a guy for anything. You do everything.
You're the guy.
So that's why people are so quick to hop on this. Hey, have you heard about crypto? Let me help you out with that. Because people are so used to, oh, really? Oh, for sure. And they just follow the candy trail into this little box over here. And it's like, right? So
got a box full of Bitcoins over here.
Yeah. Got some orange pills for you. So do it yourself, man. That's all that you really need to know. If someone's trying to help you out or say they're going to help you out, and they're not saying do it yourself, they're not helping you out. Because it's just it's decentralized. You do it yourself. So the biggest thing is educate yourself, right? Because that's what you have to do, or else someone's going to take advantage of you, and that goes for everything. But in this transitional period that we are in, it is more important than ever to educate yourself in this, because we know it's not going away. We know that it's going to play a part in the future, if not a massive part in the future. So yeah, the time is now. Get on it, and we'll all be like, bruh. In the future, having a good time.
So yeah. Anyway, we mostly do Bitcoin here, but if you've been following us, you've probably learned a little bit more of crypto. Are you into any other projects? Would you like to hear about any other projects, or have us do updates on any other projects? Drop some comments. Let us know you're listening, and
yeah, sounds good. Bigs and Bugs out.
Bigs and Bugs out.
Peace.
Bigs and Bugs.